Morning, Damien Barnett here from Affordable Staff, and today we're sitting down with Damien Misso from Professionals Woody Point. Welcome.
Thanks, Damien.
So, I understand you've released a new book.
I have, just recently. I'll be corny and go real estate secrets. So just a helpful guide for home sellers on how to navigate through the minefield of selling their home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And getting a lot of interest?
Yeah, look, it's just in the early stages now. So, mainly family and friends who have sort of been pretty proud of me finishing the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's we'll certainly go as loud as we can.
Yeah, cool. So, you're one of our clients, and I suppose we're going to ask a few questions if I can. Why did you decide to outsource?
Mainly to assist our property management business initially. Working in real estate since 2004, we've seen a number of changes in the demands on our business, mainly from the industry. So there's a lot more compliance required to using smoke alarms, compliancy as a new process, which just gets lumped onto a small business. You have to now cope with an extra job, and you need that process to work smoothly because it's very, very important. So to put on an extra staff member with our numbers just didn't make sense because it just eats straight into the bottom line. We looked for, do we get someone part-time? But then the opportunity to outsource sort of sprung to mind, and it's worked well for us.
Yeah, and one of the things I see with a lot of the property management businesses, compliance is just exploding in the industry. But the management fees and the margins don't seem to be growing for agency and business owners. And it's one of the areas that I see real opportunities for business owners to be able to, I suppose, support their staff.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I could see that our staff were overworked. They never felt like they were on top of their work. And really what they were becoming was administrators, not property managers and not building better relationships with our customers.
Yeah. And that's pretty key to your business, isn't it?
That's
building
right.
those relationships.
It's a people business, and we want to get back to that.
So talking about trust, why is trust such an important factor when you're outsourcing?
Well, it's our brand. Like when we employ any team member, they have to be the right fit to our business, and they're out representing us. So even though our team member is working remotely, they are still representing our brand. And I mean, our business has been here since 1953, so we've spent a long time building a reputation, and we don't want to lose it overnight. Yeah. So we may need to make sure that we partner with the right people.
Yeah, cool. So I suppose that brings me on to, why did you choose us?
Good friend and mentor and guru in the real estate industry, Andrew Reese, referred me to David because I was looking for some help with websites, and got fired back an email with David's details. So I guess a friend of Andrew's is a friend of mine. So met with David, and he was very helpful, very knowledgeable, and haven't looked back.
So what limitations have you found so far?
Look, initially we were looking at a website development project, and initially there were some challenges around timeframes. Now I've sort of parked that project for the time being because of our needs rather than anything else. And we've now got a full-time support team member. There has been some challenges around language and culture sometimes with some of the tasks. And I mean, I've got incredible local knowledge about our area, and sometimes you forget that and you expect someone who's only been with you for a little while to have a similar understanding. So some of the systems and knowing some of the addresses and those sorts of things, being able to problem solve has been a little bit challenging. But aside from that, it's been a tremendous help to our business.
Has it been hard to overcome those challenges?
Some of them, just take a little bit of time. I mean, you don't get this opportunity where we'd be able to sit down. If you and I had a problem, I could sit down and go bang, and you could navigate through this. I mean, it's done through Skype and email and those sorts of things. And we've used other technology like Zoom to be able to have our systems and processes built, which has been really, really helpful. But it's not being able to do this makes it sometimes a little bit harder because you can't see facial expressions. And
it's one of the challenges with an offshore team member is that you can't physically sit down like we are today and have a conversation over a cup of coffee. Or
That's right. Yeah, so I can get a tap on the shoulder and go, hey, I've got a question. It's,
Yeah, and it's also, I suppose, where I see my role coming in, being able to sit there and support real estate property management businesses with, I suppose, to try and get it right. And so, like, I don't want it to fail. We don't want it to fail as a business for you guys. I suppose we're here to support you and to give you the tools to be able to develop that relationship that you need with your team members so it works.
And look, I mean, you were very helpful at the start to help us, because it was a bit scary initially, putting on someone who you've never really met, but you think they're going to be good, and it taught me how to. I mean, using Zoom for process has been phenomenal for us, because now we've gone through and you can show people exactly how you want things done, and we didn't have that skill before. Now we've got that skill, which has been great for our business. So thank you.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. So how are your local team? You've got a team of property managers, sales agents in your business. How are they finding working with your offshore team member?
Oh, they're loving it. Particularly, I mean, we've seen more value in our property management initially because of the amount of administration we've taken off them, and there's been a few jobs that we'd been wanting to do for a long time that were important but not urgent.
Yep.
And we never got around to them, and we've been able to get Joy to help us to do them, and that just seeing things getting done and knowing that your property managers are up to date and there's a standard, which we've been able to put in place.
Has it helped drive them, or has it increased their satisfaction levels? Or
I think they're happy. I mean, you probably need to talk to them. I hope they're happy.
Yeah.
But look, they're going home at a more reasonable hour, and I know that they're not. I mean, there's swings and roundabouts in property management. We have good days, we have bad days, we have good vacates, we have bad vacates. If you get 6 bad vacates in a month, you're not feeling great.
You're not having a great month.
No. And those things are going to happen, but being able to, I think, because there's a lot of noise that goes on in your head in property management. You think, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this, and having a few of those tasks out of their head just, I think, is allowing them to think a bit clearer. And
one of the great opportunities I see in property management especially is it's very task driven. There's dates, there's deadlines that things need to be made, and a lot of them are administrative deadlines that have got to be done, sending out lease renewals and stuff like that, which that are time consuming from a property manager, because the phone rings and you go, hey, I've got to deal with this and I've got to deal with that, and all of a sudden you forget about it and you end up working late, where that's something that so easily can be offshored or compartmentalised so that someone else can do it and just take care of it and make your life a lot easier. I hope that's how you're finding it and your team's finding it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing the things that we've learned to let go of. And I mean, like arrears process up to 7 days. So before the notice to remedy breach, those sorts of things are done. It's now done offshore. So property managers come in and just deal with the trickier stuff. They don't have to deal with the little stuff. Typing up a lease. It doesn't really add value, the actual typing of the lease.
Yeah.
Or the typing of an entry notice and sending that and sending an email and an SMS to say, hey, we've just sent you an entry notice. Yeah. Doesn't add value to the relationship. It's a necessary part of it. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
When you're doing 500 properties and you're doing 1,500 inspections a year, it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time
that we're saving.
Yeah. So what do you think the industry thinks of outsourcing?
It's a good question, that, because I don't really know the answer. I mean, talking to some of the people I associate with, I say, oh, look, we're doing outsourcing. They go, oh, really? It's because it's still new. But I think a lot more people are turning to it because it's valuable. I mean, the cost of labour is, it puts pressure on a real estate business. And this provides a solution that you halves the price, really.
Yeah. No. So, I suppose finally, what advice would you give to a real estate business owner that was considering outsourcing?
Anyone on the peninsula, don't do it because it's terrible. No, but seriously, look, bite the bullet, give it a go. Yeah. It's been an incredibly valuable thing for our business. We've taken steps forward and we've only been doing it for a few months, and I've already seen significant change in our business. So, just like to thank you guys for what you've done for us, because it's been really, really helpful.
And we'd like to thank you too, Damien. So, thank you, Damien. I really appreciate your time, taking time out of your day, your busy schedule, to sit down with me today. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thanks.